I'm black. He's white. Now that we've stated the obvious, moving on. Hello, sis or bro. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tamara here with the Mompreneur Plug. And on my channel, I help mothers embrace who they are outside of motherhood. Listen, today I have a special guest. He's not new to the channel, but it has been a while since he's been featured in a video.
It's been a while.
Welcome, Cody. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey,
my
everyone.
husband.
It's been a while.
It has. It's been quite some time. So I invited Cody on this evening. A little disclaimer, our oldest son has been having nightmares lately, so he finds his way into our bed. It is late while we're filming. So if you hear him, just, go with the flow because we are parents. But anyway, so we wanted to get on here first before we really get started. Want to take a moment of silence for Chadwick Boseman. We just found out about an hour ago of his passing, and I must say I am devastated and I'm hurting. He was definitely one of my favorite actors, and just like if you watch any interviews, he just was an overall really good person. So yeah, did you want to say anything about him?
And just the interesting correlation is today is Jackie Robinson Day in baseball. And of course he played Jackie Robinson in 42. So it just feels like too soon, and to know that he battled this disease while filming Black Panther and 21 Bridges and all these other movies he did while getting chemo and having surgery is huge. The fact that he would sacrifice and do all that for people like us that are fans. So anyway.
Yeah, I want to say you and I went on a date to see 42 together. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, I think. Or was it somebody else? We need to go and see when that movie came out, and then I'll be able to tell you. Anyway, moving on. Yikes. We want to answer some questions that people ask us often. As my channel is growing, I would definitely like to reintroduce who I am to my new subscribers. Those of you who have been with me since day one, some of these things you already know the answers to, but I definitely want to address some things, questions that we get asked often, because we are an interracial couple. To be honest, it's not anything we really think or talk about, but it's our reality. I mean, we don't deny the fact that we are an interracial couple. We just, it's not something we dwell on. But in these times, I think it's appropriate to answer some of these questions. So I'll ask one. What is it like being married to a beautiful Black queen?
Emphasis on all three words: beautiful, Black, and queen. Anyway, I have a long answer to this.
Oh God!
But you don't want me to talk forever. No, I'll just say it as slowly as I can. For the people that know my background, and for the people that don't, my childhood, I was raised around Black people. Period. My mom married a Black guy when I was in elementary school, so I was raised a lot around his family. So this seems more normal to me than what the regular, white person relationship with people would say that is. So what this seems to me is normal. And I know that's probably a different answer than what people might want to hear. Or I have learned a lot. She thinks it's funny anyway when I rattle off hair terms that normal white people or men in general don't know, because I've been with her for over a decade. Stuff like that, I've learned, and I've been able to see Tam go through, let's just say it, racism up close, like up close and personal, with people that were supposed to be loving to her wasn't. So I've agreed with her. I've hurt with her through a lot of those things, and having kids, it can be, that conversation can be difficult, but it's beautiful being married to her, and I love her more each day, and I'm grateful for her as my wife.
Thanks. That was nice. Very long-winded, however nice.
I could have went longer.
Y'all, my attention span is literally that of a squirrel, so I will check out my own conversation
absolutely
quickly. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you go ahead and click subscribe? Go ahead and like my video. Comment down below. Let me know, do you know anybody that's in an interracial relationship? Are you in an interracial relationship? Have you experienced racism? Talk to us about it down below. And let us know if you'd like to see more videos like this. I love you guys. And I'm looking down at questions I have written here in my journal.
Our handy dandy
notebook. I feel like my breath stinks. Can you smell it? Mm-mm. Praise God. Ooh. It stinks.
I don't smell it.
I'm sorry. A question that we get often is, have we experienced racism being a interracial couple? The answer is yes. Not in a way that you would think, especially with us living in the South. It's not in your face. It's very subtle, but you feel it. Mm-hmm. And I think I'd rather it be in my face.
I would too.
Because at least I know how you really feel, instead of the stares and the silent whispers and the evil looks that we may get. And it's just like, you already looking crazy. Might as well say what you want to say so I can tell you about yourself. Oftentimes, especially with our kids, if we're separate, like not with each other.
That's the big one.
I've had people ask me things like, what? I'll never forget it. I think Carson was like, our youngest was like maybe 6 months or something. I was in the store and this lady walked up to me and she was like, excuse me, ma'am, like, what does your son have in him? And I wanted to say breast milk, lungs, red blood cells, white blood cells, like most people. But instead, I just said, he's black and white. And she said, oh, that's it? He just looks so exotic. Like, I thought he was something else. Like, you sure he ain't got nothing else in him? And I'm just like, I'm black. His father's white.
Right.
Any more questions? Like, I know she didn't mean it to be offensive, but it was just kind of like, you know what I mean? And I know people look at Cody when he's by himself in public, but it's kind of like, for some reason, it's more believable to see him with the kids versus me, because I'm on the darker side skin tone, and so people are looking at me like,
I would think that's not my experience. The only reason I say that is because I get the weirdest looks when I have them by myself. Like, to the point where I make it a point to call my son's son, and CJ will be like, yes, daddy, to make a point so that people know. I can see the wheels turning in their heads, the questions that are formulating, and yeah.
And I don't think we feel obligated to necessarily answer the questions.
Nope.
Sometimes it makes me laugh because I can see people going, like, oh, okay. And you have some people who genuinely have a good intention and they want to say something to say, oh, you guys have a really beautiful family, or oh, I just love your family. Like, that's their way of saying, I support interracial marriage.
Right.
But sometimes it's like, thanks, but we didn't really need that. I mean,
not really.
No offense. We're going to be married. Whether I know they don't mean any harm, so that's not me being ugly. I'm just saying. Anyway, another question in our handy dandy notebook. Thank you. Is it different being married to someone outside of your race?
I'll let you answer that because I answered it with the first question.
I would say to Cody, not really. Is there a difference? Yeah, definitely, because he is white and I am black. There's obviously, a difference, especially culture-wise, for me, it is different because most of my life I have dated Black men. I've always been attracted to, pretty much every nationality, or race. I've been attracted to, Asian men, white men, Black men, Hispanic. I've been attracted to different races. It's just I've always dated Black men. So with Cody, it's different. It's definitely different, but it's not as different because he did grow up around, African Americans, around Black people. So a lot of the things that I would feel like if I was married to another white guy who wasn't, stuff that I would have to explain, I don't necessarily have to explain to Cody. Especially with not even just Black culture, but Southern Black culture. There are just certain things that I don't have to explain to him. He understands it. He may not be able to identify with it, but he understands it. He gets it. He's like, oh yeah, if I tell him something I'm finna get some crochet braids or sewing or quick, he already know what I'm talking about. Or, growing up in a Black church, he grew up in a Black church for most of his life. Him and his mom were the only white people in their churches. So it's just he gets certain things. So for me, I don't have to necessarily explain it. But then there are certain things that he will never understand because he is white. Right. Same as for me being Black. However, it's not as different as you would think it is.
Next question in our handy dandy
notebook
is, how did y'all manage to stay together as young parents?
I would say we kind of already knew we wanted kids. I don't think we were expecting to get pregnant that quick. I mean, we hadn't even been married for a full 3 months and we had found out we were pregnant. However, I will say watching Cody as a father probably saved our marriage because we had some deep stuff happen to us when we first got married, and it could have ended badly. Yeah. But seeing him become a father and cater to me and make sure I was good during the pregnancy, it kind of superseded that for me. So how do we manage? The Lord, Jesus,
friends, mama.
I would say, because we struggled.
It's hard, man.
And then I had postpartum. I'm gonna make another video about that.
She can do a whole series about postpartum. That's tough.
A whole beast.
That was tough.
Yeah. Okay, so our next question in our handy dandy notebook. That's gonna get old real soon. Who is the most organized? Yep, sounds about right.
It's too easy. That's getting cut.
You don't have to cut that. It's authentically me. Who's the nicest? Yeah.
I try.
Cody is genuinely a nice person, but he is not necessarily a people person.
I don't think that's true. I love people and being around people. I just don't.
Your communication, in meeting people, isn't the greatest.
I'll admit to that, yeah.
You're awkward, socially awkward sometimes.
Well, growing up, I was the shy kid that didn't say anything unless I was spoken to. And then for some reason, when I became an adult, I just got more comfortable just talking to random people I didn't know. So I guess it's something that I'm learning as I get older. But yeah.
Moving on. Who is better with money? I don't think either one of us are great with money. But if we had to choose someone that was better with money, I'll say this. Since we've been married, we were terrible with money when we first got married.
Much better now.
Bruh, if God. We were better when we first got married, we probably we'd be set right now. We'd have a
Yes.
lot of debt paid off.
Yes.
We'd have money in our
Well, we
savings.
wouldn't have gotten a lot of debt either if we would. But
Anyway,
moving on.
Who cleans the most?
You just feel bad. Come on. Recently, anyway.
Why are you so loud?
Because I'm excited about this question. Come on. Point at me.
I would say that Cody cleans, whenever he does clean, he cleans more than I do. So like, whenever he does cleans, he'll clean like the whole house. Whereas with me, I clean more frequently. Like I'm constantly cleaning the bathroom, constantly trying to straighten up in the room, straighten up the living room, clean up the countertop.
So we even each other out.
We do.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Now, I will say you clean the kitchen more than me. I can't stand cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's like my cleaning space.
Yeah. Cody cleans the kitchen way more than I do. Okay, read this question.
Who is more patient with the children? Yeah. I would say we kind of balance. Well, no, we don't balance each other out. I'm more patient, but I will say in certain situations you can be more patient. Yeah.
Okay. Who apologizes first?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Me.
Don't do that.
Because this one right here does not like to admit when he's wrong.
That's not true. It takes me a minute to see that I'm wrong. Once I see that I'm wrong, I can admit to it.
It takes you a minute to see that you're wrong because you don't believe you're wrong. You never did.
Sometimes I feel like I have a lawyer mentality, so you have to like prove to me with evidence that.
Moving on.
That I've been wrong. Anyway.
What's it like being married to a YouTuber?
Fun and exhausting.
It's exhausting because you kind of play a huge role in my, like Cody edits all of my videos. So
yeah, if I wasn't editing, I'd probably have a different perspective. It's still fun. Like this is fun. And editing this is going to be fun. But yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
You smell my breath yet?
No. This is a fact about Tam. Whenever something stinks, she wants me to smell it. Whether she might pass some gas or burp or what, she wants me to smell it. And if I did that to her, she'd be mad.
Because you be stank. Does it stink? You smell it?
I don't smell it, and I'm not going to, in the name of Jesus.
Don't bring Jesus into this.
No, I need his help. Nope. Nice try.
Anyway, are you nervous or anxious about being married during these times?
Context of that question. What do you mean?
During times when we're having police brutality and racism is rearing its ugly head yet again.
Yeah.
You know, people and children are getting killed in the streets. Just, yeah.
So, nervous? I would say yeah. It's honestly... I'm done.
Sorry. You smell it now?
No. A emotional roller coaster, honestly. Especially when it's not just an article, but it's live video. It makes things real. You know what I mean? So it's not just an article that the media spins to make people feel a certain way, but it's actual video that you watch. So yeah, I'm nervous.
Am I nervous to be married during this time? Yes, and the reason I am is because I really do feel like racism is showing its ugly head. I feel like racists are getting a lot bolder these days, and not just white racists. When I say racist, I'm not talking about just white people. I'm talking about racists in every, in every aspect. We have races in every race. But specifically, the obvious one that everyone's always talking about, which is, racist white people. Because that's where we have experienced most of our racism.
Yeah.
It's not our racism. That's where we have experienced most racism is from other racist white people. But unfortunately, for me, I think it goes deeper because I'm having to experience it being married to a white man and then experience it with my children too. And it's just like, it's a whole lot. So it does make me nervous because us being in the South, when we travel, I'm always anxious and on edge because I'm like, we're not going to stop through these little hole in the wall towns, like these abandoned towns, these, just being honest. Yeah. I'm like, nope, because no. And so it is nerve-wracking, but we do trust that God is in control and he's with us wherever we go. But yeah, that would be my answer for that. I don't want to be before you long or hold you guys any longer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you, babe, for coming onto the show.
You're welcome.
Just wanted to do something different. And just kind of bring him on and talk about some things. I hope you guys got something out of this. So thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you, babe, for being on here with me.
Welcome.
Listen, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and you haven't liked or subscribed, go ahead and do it. You know you want to join the community. If you want to see my latest video, you can click here and we'll be glad to see you. And thank you so much for joining me.